It's your boy Suryansh Basumalik. We're here with another episode of the What Now Show. Today I'm joined by UFC fighter Brok Weaver. Brock, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Just finished up sparring. Got big glove day, 16 ounce. Got 6 rounds in today.
hmm That's solid, man. So that's actually my first question to you. How's the training been? I understand there's been a lot of like this COVID nonsense, and it's probably been a pain in the ass to deal with. So, what's it been like? Training schedules and dealing with everything back at camp. How's that going?
Man, it's crazy. It's a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
When the COVID first happened, I was in Alabama and I was trying to get down here to Coconut Creek to start a training camp, and then I took that. I was just staying on the reservation. All the gyms closed. I was training out in my backyard in the woods, hitting the bag, out in the weather, for about 6 weeks. And I took that Roosevelt fight. So on
Yeah.
8 day notice and cut the weight. And it, I haven't, before that fight, I probably ain't grappled in 5 weeks because I have outside mats. They get rained on. We don't really get on them. You feel me? And things happen. It happened, I'm a
Yeah.
fight. I told them before, I'll fight anytime, anywhere, sick or not. I don't care, I'm a fight. So I don't make no excuses. I got in there, we did our thing and I lost. And then I got this extra camp for Frank, and then he gets sick 2 days before the fight. And I go from fighting a 5'9" right-handed orthodox fighter that I trained 8 weeks for to fighting a southpaw that is 6'3", I think.
Yeah, yeah. He was 6 feet.
Totally
Yeah.
totally different fight, but I had a choice to say no and come back and fight Frank in 6 weeks, or say yes and get paid and be a fighter because that's what I am. I'm a fight. If it's same thing happens next fight, if somebody gets sick, which they could, the day before the fight, the day of the fight, I'm a fight whoever they put in front of me. I don't care if it's Kamiab or whatever his name is, or Leon. Like I don't. I would step up and take the Leon fight if they would let me.
hmm
But I don't even have a passport to get to Abu Dhabi right now, and so I know I won't be fighting in Abu Dhabi. So I'll probably be fighting when they come back to the States in Vegas or something.
It's an interesting point. You've got the whole Kamzat situation. What do you think about it? I mean, you got this guy just storming up the ranks, trying to pick up any fight, and you've like from what you've been saying, you really have like a heart of a warrior. You're ready to take on any one of these fights. So, what do you think about the Kamzat fight?
Well, he just got pulled out, so he I could think it might be USADA based. Maybe I'm not saying he's cheating or taking roids, but he could be. I don't know. But I had the similar situation where I was supposed to fight Thomas Gifford, and USADA popped me, and my testosterone level was really really high, and they were like, "You either took something or you're naturally born with that high testosterone." And they haven't ran many tests on Native Americans, they said, so it could have been that. And it come back a month later, everybody thought for sure I'm juicing. If they didn't, they did the same reason. Brok Weaver pulled out disclosed reasons until it was settled, till you get sent off to Germany and gets put in that big machine and tested like down to the atom. He could come back just naturally high testosterone. Maybe a tannic substance that he's taking. You don't know all what it is. That happens sometimes too, man. Not everybody's on roids. But yeah, Leon Edwards is a hard fight. We would really see who Kamzat was against Leon. You
Yeah.
know,
So, when it comes to picking fights, of course, it would all depend on what your fighting style is. So, because, of course, in the limelight, we haven't seen a lot of exposure with your name. Um, what would you define your fighting style as best? Would you call yourself well-rounded, more of a striker, grappler, love to go into the clinch, or what would you speak of it as?
um, I've always said I'm more of a calculated pressure guy. I'm definitely being here at ATT. I'm getting back to mixing it up with my takedowns and stuff that I got away from being home and not being able to wrestle as much back in Alabama because there really ain't no wrestling programs there. But I'm here at ATT training with the legendary Mako, Steve Mako here, the wrestling coach. He's the best in the business, and I'm really feeling that I'm getting to be a well-rounded fighter for sure. I think I'm pretty I'm pretty solid on top. I think going down to 145, I'm gonna be a monster to them guys. I'm gonna be way bigger, way longer. If I can make the cut good and put the weight back on like I think I can, then I think I could do anything I want to the 45ers. Strike, take them down, clinch, big boy them. I spark good 45ers here and
Yeah.
there, and I do really good just because of my size.
Hmm.
So uh, yeah, I think I'm definitely coming to a more. I've heard people call me a brawler, but I definitely would be more of a counter fighter. I think I'm always looking for the counter, but I do have a good chin. I do like to come forward and get in war sometimes. So you know, uh, like my last fight, I felt like I to me, I felt like I was breaking Jalen. He just caught me. He caught me with a good shot.
Yeah.
And I saw him slowing down and getting tired right before he caught me. I had just thought in my head, I was like, oh, he's slowing down. I'm about to win this fight, and then bam, he countered me with a hook, a good shot, good counter hook. That's the only punch I thought the whole time when I game playing for him. I was like, the only punch he could hurt me with is a check hook. I think because I'm not used to going against southpaws.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Well, let's go a little back to your start in the UFC, right? Of course, you got into it after the Contender Series. So, run me through that entire process. Getting the call for the Contender Series, how that worked, how the setup to that fight went, and getting the contract from Dana in the first place.
Um. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Some fell on my arm. But getting the contract and the contender, I was supposed to originally fight Leon Shabazian, Edmund
Okay.
Shabazian's brother. Trained at full camp for that. Flew out to Vegas, cut the weight. We was gonna fight at 170. Sean Shelby called me weigh in night. It's like, hey, stop cutting. Your guy got sick, went to the hospital. Um, we're gonna find you a replacement, get you back out in a few weeks. But I ended up coming back out 7 weeks, went back home, did a whole, stayed into camp, stayed in tremendous shape. Come back, fought a totally different fighter, and Devin Smith. He was a wrestler, an explosive, strong wrestler coming from 85, won a couple belts at 85. And yeah, man, hard fought, with him. And, I got out, adrenaline's up, and I'm a showsman. I hardly ever talk. I save it all for the camera. So when the cameras is on me, I talk a lot. That's what I save it for. And cameras hit me. I didn't even know what I even said until people come and said it, and they's like, "Man, you killed it." They thinking you the Native American Muhammad Ali. I like that. I can live up to that. And yeah, man, I just got my contract, and the debut happened. Man, everything went perfect. The crowd was there. It was in New Mexico. The UFC knew what they were doing. They had tribes up there. Probably 10 different tribes at that event watching me. I come out with the headdress, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
war, I come out to the to the stadium powwow song by the tribes called Red. It was epic, man. Everything that I ever dreamed that my UFC walkout debut would be. It was like I got to the cage and I was like, wow, that went like I walked in the cage. I remember thinking like slow mo. I was like, that happened just like I dreamed it did all these years. Like that was that, and then I was like, okay, I gotta fight. Oh snap! Like I had to snap out of my that. I was like, dang, that was too perfect. holy crap, I got to fight now. Okay.
Yeah.
And the fight was going, man. I was seeing it. I was seeing everything. He caught like my kick or something. I tripped, got up and went for it. He kept giving me his neck. And I'm gonna take your neck every time. I'm a guillotine guy, and I'm gonna get it I'm gonna try it till I get it one day. And I got it a couple of times. He got out of it. He kept peeling my glove. Used pill, I could hear him getting frustrated and breathing hard. And um, at when I didn't even know he illegal need me, man. I saw me in the stool, and I was like, I thought it was the end of the round. Like he really freaking hit. He freaking hurt me, man. And then I had a horrible headache that night. And then yeah, man. Ever since then, I haven't been able to come out epically like that, and no crowd. I'm a showsman kind of guy. I feel like I like to feed off the energy of the crowd. I've tried this no crowd thing twice, and I just ain't feeling it, man. So hopefully, maybe by March, if I fight in March, hopefully they got a crowd. You know, I guess this is my last fight on my contract, and the UFC likes me. Dana likes me. They want me to win. They want to give me another contract, but it's up to me now. I got to win this next one.
Yeah, well, I hope you can get the victory in the next fight. And did. That was actually the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. About that ring entrance with the Native American costume on, with the whole setup. I mean, I've seen quite a few interesting ring entrances. You had the whole Adesanya dance walkout back in New Zealand. Then one of and you had, I think, Cutelaba walking in as the Hulk, all spray painted in green, Kamaru Usman. And if there's another thing I'd think about, I'd probably think about when you walked into the weigh-ins with the entire setup, decked out with the gear. It was unique. It was quite the setup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
man.
so
It,
let's
it, you know, I get a lot of criticism on that sometimes, but it's Native American recognition, man. I'm showing everybody that we're still here. And
Mhm.
some of us is doing big things.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I just completely respect what you stand for, because, a part of, you hear all of these different fighters talk about it, and, at least to me, it makes perfect sense, because I think you're another representation of it. Rather than just being a fighter in a cage, you're also uh, gonna be fighting in front of millions and millions of people. And when you have the mic and you have the stage for so many different things, at some point or another, you've got. Oh no, did your electricity go out?
That's my light. It went off. Yeah, there it is.
uh, yeah.
Listen.
So uh yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, you multiple people stand for different, like, social causes. And so, the fact that you're standing up for, Native American recognition, it's pretty cool. So that brings me to my next point. You talked about fighting in March, and you talked about potentially having a fight in front of the crowd. So I have two questions for you here. Uh, is there anything in the works? Is there any name that you can throw out right now who might be in the works? And if so, would you prefer a setting with a crowd or without a crowd? Would you, or does that not matter to you much?
I really don't know the featherweight, like too many fighters in the. I gotta look up the uh the featherweight division, but I'm always down to fight Rodrigo Vargas, Kazula Vargas again.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
he illegal need me. I want that. I want that again, and definitely in front of a crowd again.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, the Vargas
but
fight would be
but
interesting.
if not, if I don't need to go in front, if I got to fight with no crowd again, then okay, let it be. I got to do what I got to do. I got to get another contract.
Okay. So, um, before uh, before we get over with this, I wanna ask you two last things. So I'll start with the second one. Um, Firstly, uh, of course, I can tell already by speaking to you for some time. Uh, you have the heart of a warrior. You're ready to fight whenever, wherever. So, what was the trigger factor that pushed you to say that screw this, screw that? I want to get into MMA and I want to make it big there?
Mm, that you know, thought of a lot of stuff, but I never really thought. Well, I have. I've thought of what really kept me going because even when I started off at 16 and 17 years old, I started fighting. I lost my first three fights,
Mhm.
and everybody told me to quit, and I was like, you know, I was really considering quitting. I kind of stopped doing it for a couple months. I was still in high school, and I just really didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I talked to one of these guys, Sky Anderson, one of my old training coaches and partners at the time years ago, and he was like, just give it one hard push, one hard another 7 8 week camp, and fight somebody your size. And I did, and I won, and I tasted victory, and I was like, this is the greatest feeling ever. I gotta feel this again.
Mhm.
So I just kept training and kept winning, then lost a couple more times, and was just never like, if I ever quit, I'm not going out on a loss. And then when I win, I'm like, okay, I got to feel that again.
Hmm.
So I guess the addiction of winning. I saw Kamaru Usman do an interview the other day or something, and he said, "This is." It was right after the Kobe fight, and he was like, "This feeling right here is why I grind so hard and hurt my body, and I'm thinking about the in that 12 weeks or 10 weeks or however long the camp is, I'm thinking about this feeling after the win, this relaxation, this peace, this that is the addicting part of fighting. That feeling after a fight, that win, that adrenaline, that happiness, that is what kept me going, I guess.
Is that why you like the crowd around you? I mean, is that why you have like a entire, like you prefer having an entire like community around you in the building to share it with, or is there any other reason why you like the crowd?
No, I love to feed off energy. Something about us Moas, um, my tribe is what we're called. The Moa Choctaws is
Okay, yeah.
everywhere we ever went, we were the life of the party. You know, whether it was dancing and partying and or whatever. You know, we're always all of us are the center of attention. We're the loudest. We feed off the energy. Sometimes we're too loud and too crazy, and we're known savages, but it's something that's just in us. We're all about the hype, like I've said before, and when I got my people around me, and I always said, you know, give me two or three Moas at a fight, and they're gonna make it feel like it's 50 of them in there, and I love that. You know, that's just an energy that no you can't really explain. You just gotta feel it, man. And I think I might be one of the only ones that feel it because I got a I got a certain amount of wolf pack and friends that and you know in my tribe that we're like freaking Saiyans, man, from Dragon Ball Z or something. Like we're just warriors, man. And you know, I feel unbeatable when they're around. I can't lose in front of them. You feel me? Because I ain't trying to get. I know they're gonna tease me if I, you know. So when they're there, I gotta win. I gotta show up, man. And it sucks without them.
Yes, do you so leading up to the fight, do you like feeding off of the cultural energy, like the spirit of your tribe? Do you like feeding off of that energy, like the messages it's taught you, what it's taught you, or do you just like stay in your own zone, just keep your mind free? What's going on in your head leading up to the fight then?
Yeah, like I said, man. You know, with my boys there, they used to like on the regional scene. They would sneak in the back right before I would come out, man, and they would be at like the entrance, and they'd be done like snuck past security, and they'd be like getting me hyped, getting in my head, you know, and growling, and they would get me it, it just you know they just make me feel like I'm unbeatable because right before the fight, it's like when you're like the most nervous, and that's when you're like that's when doubt's really trying to sink in and really defeat you in your head. You know, it's trying to beat you. So when you have somebody come and they really they're there for you. You know, they drove, they paid the ticket every time. They snuck in the back, you know, risk getting kicked out, got back there to get you hype, you know. it it is very spiritual. You know, it's very it's very it's very warrior like. You know, we even in football in the back, what would the team do? You know, Ray Lewis and them, they would hype the team up, give them a fake energy almost to make them believe in themselves. And I'm, it's almost how it is with me. You know, that's why I'm a showsman. I come out, I'm trying to come out to the coolest songs. I'm trying to come out. I'm trying to look the coolest, the most savage. I'm trying to scare my opponent. I'm trying to mentally break him before I ever even have to touch him, because it's just gonna make it a little bit easier.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean that's perfect. You've seen we're seeing this rise. After the whole Conor McGregor rise, people are tapping into the ancillary aspects of the fight. Bringing in all the other different aspects. The walkouts, the vibe. As you said, the
Yeah,
vibe that the fighter brings. So yeah, I mean, what you're saying, I mean, it completely resonates with me because this is something so many people have been talking about, and to hear it come from you, and it really makes sense because you're one of the few fighters who I've spoken with over the course of these podcasts that who speaks of the vibe before the fight, the mood, what you feed off of. So it's a very interesting insight that you've given me there. Now, concluding, I think this is what I do with everyone when we're coming to the end of it. Of course, you have your cultural backgrounds. You've got, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you want to get out. If to all the Brock Weaver fans out there, these last few minutes, just you have the floor, man. If you want to say anything, call any names out, say anything to coaches, family, friends, all you, man.
oh yeah, man. Just always, I thank God just for putting me in position that to inspire and to really help my people. I thank all my sponsors. I got so many sponsors that in 2020 that I can't even name them all right now. I'd have to have a list, but they know who they are and they're on my social media. Y'all know who they are if you're following me. And you know, and thank ATT for letting me live in this dorm here, man. It's like it's all we do. We got 10 of us in here, top fighters in the world. We go down the elevator to the gym, we train, we come back up, we rest, we go back down. That's life. And just want to shout out to all my people, all the Moas, man. Thank y'all, all the First Nation, all the indigenous people out there. Thank y'all for the love, man, the support. Keep riding with me. The next fight is the best one. It's not over yet. I still got a little gas in the tank, and we're gonna let it show. Featherweights, be on the lookout. I don't even know who y'all are. I don't even know who's the champion at featherweight. It's like he's so he's so short. I don't even know who he is. So all y'all watch out. I'm coming. Biggest
Hell yeah.
featherweight in the world.
Hell yeah. Big up, Brock Weaver. That's all we've got. Thank you so much, Brock, for joining in. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you all for watching. This was our last video for the new year. I hope you all have a great year ahead. Again, thank you, Brock. It was a pleasure having
Yep.
you, and we'll see you on the next one. For this year, that's
Yep.
what that was.